Welcome back to the Locker Room, Tunch and Wolf. We are shifting our focus to high school football. Joining us from Keystone Oaks High School, Myles Caragein, and who's going to Pitt, by the way. But before that, Myles, you have a huge game this week against Shar Valley. You guys, you probably could get in the playoffs, but you really need to win this one just for confidence and to get on a roll.
Yeah, it'd be nice to win this game so we know that we earned the right to make the playoffs and not we backed in because of Gardner points. And it'd be also nice to get a home playoff game.
Talk about your season so far and how it's gone. You're sitting at 5-3. Give us a little encapsulated review of the season.
Like, it's gone pretty good. It's been up and down, but most of the time it's been up. That's our record. And we hit a couple speed bumps, and we just need to smooth that out.
Now, Myles, we worked at a summer camp together. You and I did, getting ready for your senior season. And at the time, I know that there were a lot of schools that were very, very, very interested. North Carolina, Maryland, Iowa. You chose Pitt. You decided early. What made you decide to stay close to home?
Like, it wasn't really to stay close to home. It was, like, academics. And, like, I really fell in love with the coaches. Coach Gattuso stood out amongst all the other coaches, and I just felt like this is the place to be.
Well, he's a good guy, too, especially if you want to go hit a couple buffets.
Yeah.
You know, that's the guy to hang with. Now, Syracuse, didn't Syracuse get on the board here with you?
Syracuse did offer, but they were a little bit in the back of my mind, but not really too much.
How could you turn down the Cuse? I mean, come on, that was my school. How could you not go there?
Tell him. You hated it.
Oh, what about
Ugly
Indiana
helmet.
State?
You should have considered Indiana State because a very distinguished alum from KO. I have Mark Gradkowski, who happens to be the uncle of Bruce Gradkowski, quarterback of the Tampa Bay Bucks. He and I played together, and so we had the connection. We had the KO connection, and you broke it. That's okay, Myles. Now, you're also a Greco-Roman wrestler. First of all, I want to know, Greco-Roman is a fun type of wrestling, but where do you go to find a match? I mean, do other guys, are there a lot of guys in town that do that? Because I know it's not part of the WPIAL tournaments.
Like, it's pretty popular amongst wrestlers. Like, I'll go to a club called Angry Fish and wrestle with Ray Burns there. There's probably about 30, 40 wrestlers in there, various in weights. But the drive to a tournament, you have to go about an hour to get there. But that's pretty far. It's not like it's real close around here.
Do you find that Greco helps you play defense? I mean, the training from it?
Oh, yeah, I think it helps a lot, especially with conditioning and, like, getting your hands inside and the hip leverage and all that. I think it helps a lot.
Now, was the recruiting process a tough one for you? I mean, because I know there were a lot of people vying for your attention. Or was it, in other words, are you glad it's over? Do you feel kind of a sense of relief?
I guess it was getting very hard getting, like, about 75 to 100 texts a night from various coaches and all that. But I'm definitely glad that I made the decision so I can just enjoy my senior year.
Well, let's talk about something really serious. Where do you like to eat? And what's your favorite food? I mean, what's your favorite feed bag to strap on around town?
I like going to car hops, get some turbo fries.
Ah, okay.
Turbo fries.
But now, what about some meat? Now, I mean, you're definitely of the carnivore variety, I would think. You're a pretty big guy.
But if I'm looking for some meat, I like to go up to King of the Hill and get a prime rib.
Ah, okay.
Now, let me ask you something. You've played both sides of the ball. It sounds like you're going to settle defense?
Yes. Coach Gattuso said I'll probably move up to DN when I come to Pitt.
Do you have any preference? You probably don't want to be an old lineman, huh?
I really don't have any preference. I'll play wherever they want to put me.
Now, what about nose tackle? I mean, you look at a guy like Keystone.
Yeah, he looks kind of Greco-Roman wrestler.
Yeah, I'm thinking that would be of value playing on the inside. You toss a few bodies here, toss a few bodies there.
I could end up anywhere. It's just where I'm at, where Pitt wants to put me in.
Now, what the other schools, like North Carolina was recruiting you as an offensive lineman, right?
Yes.
And so did that have any bearing on where you ended up, wanted to go to school?
Not really. I was mostly looking at academics and how the coaches were.
What do you want to study? Sorry. What do you want to
I'm probably going to go into pre-med at Pitt.
Pre-med?
Pre-med.
Oh.
Wow. What about post-med?
That's good. That was very, very good.
What's an average day for you? You get up, you head off to school, you got to hit the books, you got practice, weightlifting. How do you manage all this stuff?
It gets pretty rough at sometimes. We're staying up till probably like 12, 1 o'clock doing homework, but some other times it's not too bad.
What's been the highlight of this year for you so far?
Probably beating Trinity 21-14. A huge game for us. They dropped down from Quad A, their Quad A powerhouse, and it was just huge to beat them.
Now, we're going to, during the season, did you ever kind of go to your coach and say, I'd like to carry the ball a little bit, I'd like to be able to, punch one in here. As, a hog. Sometimes, a little, how about something for the effort,
I do run the ball a little bit, occasionally, probably like 4 or 5 times a game, getting it run up the middle.
There you go.
Now, let me ask you something. The big year and all, coming to Pitt, do you think there's any more pressure being that you're from Pittsburgh and you're going to be playing for your hometown college?
There's definitely a little bit more pressure because a lot more people know you, know where you're from, so you have to excel a little bit more on the field.
What are you most excited about as you go through your senior year? I mean, I know you got the football, but you also got some Greco-Roman stuff coming up too. So what are the highlights for this year for you?
I was excited about both. Now the football's starting to wind down, get to the end. I'm getting excited for wrestling, and then after wrestling, I'll probably get excited to go to Pitt.
Well, Myles, thanks for joining us. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Myles' teammate right here in the locker room.